The first rule of the Helios Research Outpost was simple: do not emotionally engage with the specimens. It was printed on every corridor wall, etched into the training manuals, and drilled into us during psych evaluations. Emotional attachment led to bias. Bias led to mistakes. And mistakes, out here, orbiting a red dwarf star 13 light-years from Earth, got people killed. That was before Subject E-17 arrived. She wasn't supposed to be beautiful. The scans hadn't suggested it. The data classified her as a non-hostile xenobiological entity recovered from the shattered remains of an alien transport vessel drifting near the Helios belt. When they brought her in, wrapped in a translucent containment field, she looked fragile, thin limbs, faintly luminescent skin marked with shifting patterns like living constellations. But it was her eyes that changed everything. They weren't just reflective. They studied you. Deep, liquid black with hints of starlight swirling beneath the surface, like she carried entire galaxies behind them. When she woke in the medical bay, her gaze locked onto mine, and didn't let go. I was Dr. Elias Cade, lead xenolinguist. My job was to decode her language, understand her cognition, and determine whether she posed a threat to humanity. I told myself that was all I saw when she looked at me. A subject. A task. Nothing more. She didn't speak at first. Not with words. She communicated through subtle bioluminescent pulses along her arms and neck, patterns that shifted depending on emotional state. Fear bloomed in soft blues. Curiosity shimmered green. Pain flashed sharp white. When I introduced myself, I placed a hand over my chest. Elias. She studied the gesture, then mimicked it with trembling precision. A faint violet glow pulsed beneath her skin. Later that night, reviewing the footage alone, I realized something unsettling. Her light patterns had synchronized with my heartbeat. Weeks passed. The outpost revolved around schedules and silence, but inside Observation Room 7, time bent differently. She learned quickly. Too quickly. Within days, she understood basic symbols. Within weeks, she grasped spoken English, not fluently, but enough to follow intent. The crew grew uneasy. Command grew impatient. They wanted results. Weaponization assessments. Biological exploitation. I wanted to protect her. I started staying late. Breaking protocol. Bringing her small comforts, a thermal blanket, a piece of earth fruit, recordings of rainstorms and ocean waves. Each time, her light patterns shifted warmer. Gold. Amber. Colors that didn't appear in the data charts. One evening, she surprised me. "What are you?" she asked, voice halting but clear. The room went silent. Recording drones hovered, waiting. "I'm human," I said carefully. "From Earth." She tilted her head. "Human, Elias." Then she pressed her hand against the glass, separating us. Her palm glowed softly. "Why does it hurt?" she asked, "when you leave?" I didn't have an answer. The rule echoed in my mind. Do not emotionally engage. But my heart ignored it. I asked her about her species. She told me they were called the Orales, beings who evolved through emotional resonance rather than conflict. Their society was built on shared feeling. To them, emotion wasn't weakness. It was language. Survival. Truth. Her ship had been a diplomatic vessel. The attack that destroyed it hadn't been an accident. It had been human. The realization sat between us like a loaded weapon. "You knew?" she asked quietly. "No," I said. "But I'm sorry." Her lights dimmed, not with anger, but sorrow. "They will come again," she said. "For me. For what I am." She was right. Command ordered invasive testing, neural mapping, genetic extraction. I argued. I delayed. I falsified reports. Each act pushed me closer to treason. The night before the procedure, I found her curled in the corner of the room, lights flickering erratically. "They're afraid," she said. "Fear is loud in this place." I broke the final rule. I entered the chamber. The alarms should have triggered. They didn't. Later, we'd learned she'd subconsciously interfaced with the station systems. I knelt in front of her, unsure what to say. My chest felt tight, words caught behind years of restraint. She looked up at me, eyes searching. I reached out, hesitated, then gently touched her hand. "It's going to be okay," I whispered. She studied my face, then asked, "What is the word you use when someone matters beyond reason?" I swallowed. "Love." The moment I said it, her entire body lit up, brilliant, radiant, overwhelming. The room filled with warmth, like standing beneath a sunrise. She stared at me like no one ever had, not with need, not with possession, but with recognition. "You called me love," she said softly. And in that instant, I knew there was no going back. Ending. The evacuation alarm sounded 3 hours later. Orly's ships emerged from hyperspace, sleek, luminous vessels that bent light around them like living constellations. Earth Command panicked. Defensive protocols activated. Missiles armed. I ran. I disabled locks, rerouted power, ignored shouted orders in my comm. When I reached her chamber, she was already standing, calm, amidst chaos. "They came," she said. "For you," I replied. "And I'm going with you." She stepped closer, placing both hands on my chest. Her light pattern slowed, deepened. "You cannot," she said gently. "Your world still needs you." "I don't care," I said. "I won't let them take you. I won't let them hurt you." Her eyes softened, glowing brighter than I'd ever seen. "You already saved me," she said, "by seeing me." The walls trembled as weapons fire shook the station. Orly's frequencies flooded the comm channels, not hostile, but pleading, offering peace, understanding. She reached up, touching my face. "When you spoke that word," she said, "you changed me. Among my people, to be named in such a way, it is a bond. Eternal." Tears blurred my vision. "Then don't leave." She smiled, an expression she'd learned from me. "I will," she said, "but not forever." She leaned forward, resting her forehead against mine. Light enveloped us, warm, alive, filled with emotions so vast it nearly broke me. In that moment, the entire station went silent. Every weapon powered down. Every hostile system disengaged. The Orlys had felt her bond. Through her, they felt me. Fear dissolved into understanding. For the first time in human history, we weren't communicating through force or threat, but through shared emotion. When the light faded, she was gone. The ships vanished. The war that almost began never did. I was court-martialed, stripped of rank, exiled from deep space research. But I didn't regret it. Years later, on a quiet night on Earth, I stood beneath the stars, watching a familiar pattern shimmer briefly across the sky, a soft amber glow, like a promise. In my chest, warmth stirred. Somewhere out there, she remembered the word I gave her. And somewhere within me, I knew the truth. I didn't just call her love. I taught two worlds how to feel it.